Hi, welcome back to day 3 of our week on theme. And as I get ready to share my screen with you, see if you can remember what we've discussed the past few days in our lessons. And we'll do a quick quiz when I start sharing. So remember, we are going to identify theme. We are looking at our learning target. I can recognize and identify a theme or lesson of a fictional text using key supporting details. So let's do a quick review. What is theme? Can you answer that question? Can you tell somebody around you, what is theme? Theme is the message, moral, or lesson the author wants you to get from the story. Did you get that right? Next one. A theme should contain character names because it comes from the story. True or false? That one is false. We do not want to include character names when we state a theme. A theme can apply to everyone. This means it is, what's that big word we were using to mean it applies to everyone? Universal. A theme can apply to everyone. This means it is universal. Sometimes a theme is stated, but most times it must be inferred. You have to use the text clues, your key details, and what you know to come up with the theme. Sometimes it'll say this theme right there in the text. A lot of times if you read fables, it might tell you right in the text. But most times when you read a story, you have to come up with the theme on your own. You have to infer the theme. So using the key details, the text clues, and what you know. A story may have more than one theme. True or false? True. There may be multiple, more than one themes going on in a story at the same time. Every story must have its own new theme. Two stories are not allowed to have the same theme. True or false? That is false. A lot of the stories have the same theme. There are multiple ways of telling a story in it, but they may have the same theme running through them. What questions do we need to consider when inferring a theme? What questions are we asking ourselves? We kind of have been going over 3 questions. Can you think of what 3 questions they are? What was the topic or the topics? Maybe more than one. What did the character or characters learn through the story? And how did the character grow or change? So we may need to consider 1, 2, or all 3 of these questions as we are reading. And last question, we need to look at which important story elements to help infer a theme. If we look at these, they could help us figure out what the theme is. Of course, we need to look at the character or the characters, the conflict, which is the problem or what is not quite going the way it's supposed to, and the resolution. How does the story end up? How is the conflict solved? So we are going to practice again identifying a theme. And we are going to listen today to the book No Mirrors in My Nana's House by Issei Barnwell. We're going to listen on StorylineOnline.net again, and this is read by Tia and Tamara Mari, who are actresses. But No Mirrors in My Nana's House. I want you to think, what is a mirror? Why do we use a mirror? Why do you use a mirror? Why would a house not have any mirrors in it? So think about those. What is a mirror? Why do we use a mirror? And why would a house not have any mirrors? So that's what we are thinking about as I get ready to share with you. And there we go. So this is No Mirrors in My Nana's House.
The author of the book is Issei Barnwell, and the illustrations and paintings are by Cynthia St. James. There were no mirrors in my Nana's house. No mirrors in my Nana's house. So the beauty that I saw in everything, the beauty in everything, was in her eyes, like the rising of the sun. There were no mirrors in my Nana's house. No mirrors in my Nana's house. So I never knew that my skin was too black. I never knew that my nose was too flat. I never knew that my clothes didn't fit. I never knew there were things that I missed. 'Cause the beauty in everything was in her eyes, like the rising of the sun. There were no mirrors in my Nana's house. No mirrors in my Nana's house. I was intrigued by the cracks in the wall. I tasted with joy the dust that would fall. The noise in the hallway was music to me. The trash and the rubbish just cushioned my feet. And the beauty in everything was in her eyes, like the rising of the sun was in her eyes. There were no mirrors in my Nana's house. No mirrors in my Nana's house. The world outside was a magical place. I only knew love, and I never knew hate. And the beauty in everything was in her eyes, like the rising of the sun. Child, look deep into my eyes. Child, look deep into my eyes. Child, look deep into my eyes.
We are going to stop there. They have a song that goes along with that, and I will play it for you at the end of the lesson. So we were considering, what is a mirror? Why do we use a mirror? And why would a house not have mirrors, such as the narrators in this story? So what was the topic of No Mirrors in My Nana's House? What was this book about? It was about not having any mirrors in the house, right? So that she kept saying, there are no mirrors in my Nana's house. Finding beauty in what's around you, topic. So she was talking about where she was looking, where she found beauty, where she found interests and joy. Conflict and resolution. Was there a conflict in this story? There wasn't really. Was there a resolution? No real conflict and resolution, right? It wasn't a problem that there were no mirrors in the house, right? She wasn't wishing for one. She was fine without it. But what was she talking about that she learned? What did the character learn? The narrator. The narrator is the person telling the story. So what did she learn? The characters or the narrator's Nana helped her focus on the beauty in everything around her instead of on how she looked. Remember, she said, I didn't know my skin was too black. I didn't know my nose was too flat. I didn't know my clothes didn't fit. And why didn't she know those things? She wasn't looking in the mirror, right? Instead, she was looking at everything else around her. So our key details in our text evidence here that are going to help us out. She says over and over, the beauty that I saw in everything was in her eyes, like the rising of the sun. What do you think that means? It was in her eyes, like the rising of the sun. Think about that. When the sun rises, it creates the light, right? You can start seeing everything. Everything becomes clearer around you. And Nana's helping to point out all the things that are around this narrator that are beautiful. She noticed, she was intrigued. Do you know that word, intrigued? If you're intrigued by something, you are curious, you are interested. So she was intrigued by the cracks in the wall. She was following the cracks along the wall. Where did they start? Where did they end? She was intrigued. She found joy in the dust. Have you ever watched dust kind of shimmer and shine when the light shines through your window? You can kind of see the dust kind of dancing around. The noise in the hall. She didn't call it noise. She called it music. She heard it not as noise, but as music in the hallway. She said the trash that was there just cushioned her feet. She didn't see it as a problem. She saw beauty in it. She saw purpose in it. So she said, we can go on and on. What were some other things that you noticed? She only knew love, right? She only knew love, not hate. So she's focused on all these things, maybe things we wouldn't normally think are intriguing, interesting, or exciting. Cracks in the wall, dust, noise in the hallway. But she wasn't looking in a mirror. She didn't know the things about herself, but she was noticing everything around her. So I want to know, what do you think is the story's theme? What do you think? We've practiced the past 2 days coming up with a theme together. I want to see what you think this story's theme is based on this character, knowing there were no mirrors in the house. She wasn't looking at herself. She was looking at everything around her. Nana was helping her find everything around her. So you are going to submit your answer at menti.com. So you can use this link here. You can copy that link down to it. Or if you have a phone or another device, you can use the QR code. And it will take you to a place where you can enter your answer, write your theme. You don't need to enter your name if you don't want to. And for now, I have the answers hidden so I can look at the answers before I put them up and make sure there's nothing inappropriate going up on the site that people can see. But I will try at the end of each day, or maybe a couple times during the day, to check answers, and maybe then I will post them for a little bit so that you can see them. But think about, what do you think is the theme of No Mirrors in My Nana's House? And then once you do that, you are going to complete one of the activities on the choice board that you have not completed yet. There are 6 options. We're doing theme for 5 days. You're welcome to do all 6. You're welcome to do just 5, whatever you can manage to do. And I am going to go back real quick and let you hear the song for this story. The author is part of a music group, so they're going to sing the song for you.
To them sing. No mirrors in my Nana's house.
There were no mirrors in my Nana's house, no mirrors in my Nana's house. There were no mirrors in my Nana's house, no mirrors in my Nana's house. And the beauty that I saw in everything, the beauty in everything, yeah, was in her eyes. Like the rising of the sun was in her eyes. I'm telling you, there were no mirrors in my Nana's house, no mirrors in the house. There were no mirrors in my Nana's house, no mirrors in the house. I never knew that my skin was too black, and I never knew that my nose was was too flat, and I never knew that my clothes didn't fit, and I never knew there were things that I'd miss, 'cause the beauty in everything, yeah, was in her eyes, like the rising of the sun was in her eyes. Oh, there were no mirrors in my nana's house, no mirrors in my nana's in the house. There were no mirrors in my nana's house, no mirrors in the house. I was intrigued by the cracks in the wall. The dust in the sun looked like snow that would fall. The noise in the hallway was music to me. The trash and the rubbish would cushion my feet. And the beauty in everything, yeah, was in her eyes. Like the rising of the sun was in her eyes. There were no mirrors in my nana's house, no mirrors in my nana's in the house. There were no mirrors in my nana's house, no mirrors in the house. The world outside was a magical place. I only knew love and I didn't know hate. And the beauty in everything, yeah, was in her eyes. Like the rising of the sun was in her eyes. There were no mirrors in my nana's house, no mirrors in the house. There were no mirrors in my nana's house, no mirrors in the house. And the beauty that I saw in everything, the beauty in everything, yeah, was in her eyes. Like the rising of the sun was in her eyes. Child, deep into my eyes, 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 child.
Wow.
So there you go. You can watch that again on storylineonline.net. And you see how they took that story and turned it into a song. So even if you don't have something to read at home at the moment to discuss a theme or determine a theme, you can listen to a song. Songs and movies and stories have themes running through them. So think about that as you are watching something. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.